Again, this is a very desperate time for our republic. The most desperate it's ever been since our founding. Larry Pratt joins us. He was viciously attacked and called all sorts of names last night in absolute demonization by a foreigner whose ancestors undoubtedly fought against this country, trying to take our guns in 1776, and told he was all manner of bad things. And then Piers Morgan put out a bunch of propaganda saying that, you know, crime rates went down when they took guns in England. I have the statistics here while Larry Pratt talks. I'm going to be showing you some of these headlines. But, Larry, thank you on short notice for coming on again today. I just wanted to give you a chance to respond to what Piers Morgan said, uninterrupted, here on air for a few minutes, because he was talking over you the entire time.
Alex, it was an extraordinary experience. And here, silly me, I thought that the Brits were such a staid group of people, but you saw it, I guess. The guy melted down. He absolutely couldn't get his head around the fact that people should be able to defend themselves and not wait for 20 minutes after they've been murdered for the police to arrive. That was just not something that fit inside his head. And so he resorted to ad hominem, and I thought at the time, this is great. This guy is exposing himself to the world that he's a loser, that that's the best he can do, that that's his idea of an argument. He's lost all of the rational discussion, can't compete in that arena, so he resorts to name-calling. And I thought, this is wonderful. This is what it doesn't get any better than this.
Man, you are right. And again, I've never seen such demonization of gun owners like he was doing to you. It's just amazing. What do you make of Obama's announcement and Reuters saying that he's going to use executive orders and ATF rules? That's what you said yesterday was the route you thought they'd take.
It is the pattern that the president has shown. That's the way he is conducting himself. In his view, evidently, the fact that he barely got 50+% of the vote means he can do anything he wants, that he's not the president in a constitutional republic where the president can do certain things, and most things the president cannot do. According to the president's view now, Barack Obama thinks he can do just about any bloody thing he can get away with. And that's a gross misunderstanding of the office of president. But it's apparently not the misunderstanding that a communist has. And that's really the way the president thinks. He was educated that way. He is a full-bore Marxist. And this guy is after and grabbing a hold of every bit of power and centralizing it in his hands. And as he said, even before the election, we should have been listening. If the Congress won't go along with me, then I'm just going to have to take action myself. Well, hello, Mr. Dictator. I guess you will.
What about the point that Mexico has a total gun ban for citizens and has had 50,000 plus dead the last few years? What about the fact that, I mean, England's crime rate doubled after they took guns? I just showed their own numbers. They're the most dangerous country in Europe. Who's the safest? Switzerland, with more guns per capita than we've got.
Does not compute. That just doesn't fit inside the cranium of the normal liberal thinker. I was just being interviewed as you called in by PBS, and it does not fit. They cannot accept the idea that when you take guns away from decent people, from the average citizen, that things are, they can't buy into the idea that things will get worse, because their assumption is that you and I can't be trusted. You and I are too juvenile. You and I are too impetuous. Well, perhaps what they're doing is projecting from themselves onto us. And I think a lot of the debate is to point out to them, hey, guys, we ain't like you. We really are different. We can control ourselves. We can control our tempers. We can walk around with guns and we never shoot anybody. Our guns are safer than Ted Kennedy's car. Our guns kill fewer people than Ted Kennedy's car. and they don't like to hear that, of course.
Larry Pratt, I know you've got to go, and I appreciate the short notice. I know you're working 18 hours a day right now to defend the Republic. Gunowners.org. Everybody should go immediately join, at least sign up for the free email alerts and get active. I want to, though, give you a chance to respond back here to Piers Morgan, anything you'd like to say to him, because as you've been talking, I've showed England's crime rate highest in Europe 15 years after they banned guns from one of the safest countries in Europe. I've shown Mexico after the gun ban, most dangerous country in this hemisphere. And I'm showing FBI.gov statistics. As gun ownership goes up, the last 20 years, but especially the last 5, crime rates plunging more than 20% just the last 4 or 5 years. So here's the facts for Piers Morgan on screen for people. So what can we do rallying right now, sir? We're showing Piers Morgan, FBI.gov, crime rate, violent crime rates plunging. I've got hundreds of pages of this. So there's your proof. You're the liar or you're ignorant. Nothing against Brits. Go back to your own country where they're, may have hacking charges, on him. Well, I guess he can't go back. They may arrest him. But what do you want to say to Piers Morgan in closing? And then what can we do to save the Republic? Is this not the ultimate assault we're about to see start?
It looks like we are at least where we were after Columbine. We managed to get through that, but it was because the American people communicated with their politicians and said, don't buy into the media lie. If you vote to take my guns away, if you vote to restrict my ability to get and to carry guns, I'm coming for you in the next election. They've got to understand that this is a career-changing moment. They're either going to be on the side of the Republic or against it. If they want to be with Piers Morgan, that's fine, but just remember there will be consequences.
Well, that's the big problem. I've talked to top election fraud experts like Bev Harris, who's nonpartisan. She said she's never seen this much fraud, and most of the fraud was against Romney. Not that he was even good. The fix was in there, too. They stole the election. That's what I'm worried about, Larry. There's so much election fraud now. They're about to legalize the 30 million illegals. But they know this is their last shot because America is starting to wake up. I'm not just saying that, but that's why we're in so much danger, folks, is because we can beat the collectivists, and so now they are like cornered zombies.
That's right. They had to steal the last election or they could not have won, and it's up to us to become part of the election machinery, to become part of those officials that are sitting there. It's a long day. It's like 5 in the morning until 7, 8 at night, maybe 9 or 10 at night. It's a killer day, but it's either that or the Republic. Take your choice.
Well, I'm going to say this right now to everybody out there. So many people I know, including combat veterans, say when they come for the guns, I'm going to go Rambo. Folks, let's go Rambo in the info war, going in the police stations with literature, waking them up, going to your city councils, going to your state houses, going to your media, calling into talk radio, calling the White House, calling the NRA and saying, you better not waffle because, they're going to give a press conference, Larry. And Reuters is saying he may go dictator. They're calling for him to use, quote, executive power. And they're bragging that all these Republicans are about to line up. I've talked to some people on the Hill. I know you've talked to more. The word is a bunch of Republicans are gonna go with this because of campaign donations. But can we hold the line, or will these traitors sell us out, Larry? Is this it?
Well, that's the issue. You put your finger on it, and it's up to us to make our voices heard. If they realize that they may be hearing something on CNN and Piers Morgan, but if they hear something many times more coming from their grassroots, they're going to realize that the media is talking to itself. And they better not go with the media because the media is not going to protect them when we come to vote.
That's right. God bless you. Gunowners.org. Folks, they don't pay me to say this, though I'd love to get them as a sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, you are insane if you don't go sign up for a membership or a lifetime membership, or if you don't go, at least sign up for the free email alerts, and they will give you up to the minute. If the NRA was half as good as GLA, we would not be in the situation. The NRA supported the 68 Gun Control Act. In closing, how do people go and sign up to be members, or how do they just flat out donate, Larry?
Well, you've told them that gunowners.org is the easiest way. If they can't get on the web, it's 888-888-6GUNS, 888-886-GUNS. But gunowners.org is the easiest.
Now, listen, you're kind of the opposite of me, in not in politics, but when it comes to your demeanor. But I mean, I wear my emotions, but also my brain. When I've thought about on my sleeve, I think about things coldly, but then I get on air and you know, get hyped up because that's just how I am, because this politics is war.
That's why we love you, Alex.
But Larry, you're somebody, I know you got to go, that always kind of downplays things just because you're the calm, cool, collected guy. How bad is it? I mean, I'm here saying I've never seen anything like this. My gut tells me, but also politically. Red alert. I mean, is this DEFCON 1? I mean, is this like red alert, sir?
Yes, sir. It is as bad as it was after Columbine. We were looking at a situation where gun control legislation looked to be inevitable. Well, it wasn't. And it wasn't because we stood up and we told the politicians, go back in your hole. Don't even think about it, or else you're not going to be around after the next election. That's what we need to tell them.
Absolutely. The only problem is Clinton was leaving office. We now have Obama not facing re-election. 4 horrible, cold years, and he's talking about executive action, and the media is telling him, go ahead and do it. We'll give you cover. I think this is worse. I think this is the worst we've ever faced.
It could be. Certainly, we've got a guy that doesn't seem to have any scruple about doing anything, no matter how illegal. And so it's up to us to put the heat primarily on the Republicans in the House and to tell them, cut off the money. Because if there's no money for these rascals, no money for these dictators, they don't volunteer. They'll go away.
And undoubtedly, sir, is it not dictatorship when the media says become a dictator?
When the media is applauding, it makes it very likely that they're going to think, this is my moment. Well, it may be their moment to be defeated if we keep our wits about us and we don't fall for the inevitability notion that they're trying to give us, that somehow this is something that we can't stop. I heard that message before. Over 10 years ago, after Columbine.
That's right.
And it wasn't inevitable.
Gunowners.org. I know you've got to go. Thank you for the time. God bless you, Larry Pratt.
You too, Alex. Thank you.
That's the chairman. Thank you. That's the chairman of Gun Owners. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.